Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode episode 91. Just a reminder that today is the last Friday episode of this series. Next week it is switching time slots to the old Pro Cyclist series to the Tuesday and Saturday slot. The new series will be coming out Monday, so right around the corner on that one. Meanwhile, we are wrapping up, or just about closely wrapping up the Giro. So we are getting the Giro. La Vuelta. La Vuelta España. We now lead this thing, but barely. We finally caught Moss on a other than strong day, and we took out a huge chunk of time from him, enough so to cover up the loss that we had. The little bits here and there that we were losing to him, even with plus fives, he was so strong. Finally, he is showing that fitness peak that he started, right away, stage one with, putting up numbers that Moss shouldn't be putting up. Finally showing some weakness. Even though we lead the race, Buitrago was trying to get in the breakaway early on, so we worked really hard to make sure he wouldn't get in the break. And eventually, when the breakaway settled on 11 riders, now down to 7, and it settled on not really being ever very firmly established. They've got a minute 15 advantage with 2 climbs to go here on this stage. We've got okay race day condition. Martinez has his plus 5. Arrieta got a good draw. Hagen's got a good draw. Overall, there's still a few guys with negatives. It's still a slightly net negative, but not by far. It's an okay race day condition, but Krantz does have a -2. Today, we want to avoid losing time, and for the moment, as it yo-yos, we've got a nice little gap, but this is not one where you want to sit back and lose time on, so let's up the effort here. And with riders firmly, chasing this and making it difficult, there's no reason for me to be the one to do that right now. Front 7 already down to a minute. Gonzalez, Hagens, both fading a little bit. Down to 2K. Gonzalez is the furthest back. Let's give him a little bit more here. Looks like we're set for a final climb showdown, which means we're looking good because Martinez has a plus 5. He'll get a little recovery in. We're down to 21K. Gonzalez is still our furthest rider back. We're down to 100 in the Peloton. 1 rider left off the front, and we will all the way up the final climb sprint train that thing and lead it out, make it hard on anybody to potentially get a breakaway. Okay, so 13K. Let's slow down. Let's find out what we're in for the final climb. 7.3K, 6.4% flattening at the top. So you want to save it at the end for a sprint. Martinez already back to full strength. Let's not let this set up and get easy. Let's put our train together right now with 12K to go. I think Arrieta's got to be the lead out guy today. Never mind that Krantz is still in 5th place. Maybe we'll put him on the back and see what happens with that. Never mind Gonzalez being in 13th. Hagen's pretty punchy, but he's going to have to go a little bit earlier. Alright, so Garzone, he's a little ways down the line. We need to get him forward quickly. The whole team's blocking him. Come on. That's why I wanted to start early, but yeah, Garzone blocks the entire team. Or gets blocked by the entire team. We're all trying to get behind him. And yet he can't get through, so. Okay, gel for Azumi. Let's get to the left-hand side of the road. Get to the left-hand side of the road. There we go. Alright, let's make sure everybody actually got through. No, they did not. Gonzalez, Arrieta. Okay, Gonzalez and Arrieta are getting in position, but the 2 leaders are not. Garzone's used up his red bar, so he's not going to be going quite as fast here. Martinez closing it down. Krantz, jeez. Man, they really struggled that time. All right, 4.9. Garzone drops the back. Krantz looks like he finally found some space, but it's using up all of his red bar to get up here. Martinez finally gets in position. Van Dienenbeeld trying to attack. Azumi still doing his thing. 3.7. Comes Buitrago trying to attack. 97 now. Gel up for these guys. Gel up for the whole bunch of them. Krantz still trying to play catch up. Buitrago has attacked and gone clear and already been pulled back by Huggins. Garzone is out of energy. Him to Otto. He's the furthest back. Krantz struggling, but he's going to make contact. Chergai. Huggins went clear. Chergai ran out of energy. So put him on Otto and on to Gonzalez. 1.6k already is all we're down to. And remember, the top is flat, so we have got to get moving here. So on to Arrieta and Martinez. 1.4. This is full gas territory if we're going to cover this off and set this up. Arrieta going real hard and setting up Martinez. Martinez now sprinting, and now Martinez going for the line. Buitrago, Mr. Plus 5 billion race day condition, continues to do the impossible. There is group number 2, not including Moss. Not including Moss. Moss was 13th. Moss loses time. Moss loses time today. He's going to lose about half a minute. Huggins finished 3rd on stage, by the way. Really good job from him. Arrieta, Martinez, 8th and 9th. Huggins, that was that separation. If I had caught the Chergai fading, had a little bit going on there. Had a little bit going on, and I missed something. By the way, I'm recording a back-to-back, so the sickness that I was suffering from last episode, I am still suffering from it. I just finished recording that episode. You know, you lose focus for half a second, things happen, and I did lose focus for half a second there. Looks like we might have missed an opportunity, but at the same time, we still got a good result. Martinez, Arrieta, same time, so this group is all same time, 10 seconds down on Buitrago. So, okay, we lost 10 seconds to Buitrago, but we were over a minute ahead of him. But Moss, the main guy who's been a serious threat, loses 12 seconds. 12 seconds is it, but it is 12 seconds. So we are now leading Buitrago 57 seconds behind, and Moss slips to a minute 15 down. So those two have swapped. 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there. It's actually 20 seconds for Buitrago with the time bonus. And then Foss, 3:44. Krantz now 5th at 6:12. Godu, 6.5. Van Dienenbeeld is 7th. Lopez is 8th. And definitely too far down for like Rubio and behind. Probably Krantz, this group, these 4 riders are probably too far back. Krantz leading that group. One more punchy stage, one more mountain stage, one more time trial, almost prologue length. On a difficult stage 19, profile-wise, it's not been difficult, but the pace has been. We've got a breakaway of 12. They're down to a minute 20 advantage, and fortunately, we have not had to do the chasing. One climb to go on this one, but then there's quite a distance to cover to get to the finish line. We're looking at, 154 to 173, so 19k from the top of the climb to the finish line, with a lot of that descending, but a fair bit of that needing support. Can't have one man going solo to the end on that one. We're not quite ready to set up a sprint train, but you can see the pace has been difficult enough here that nobody's at full strength, even Martinez with another +5 today. Really hit that fitness peak hard. By the way, Krantz, his fitness peak ended after yesterday's stage. So we are now at a point where Krantz is down to neutral on the expected. Another -2 for him. He's had really, really bad draws lately. But with 7K to go to the top, 26K to go overall, we are going to sprint train this one from here till the finish. We're not going to go crazy hard, though. I do not expect this to be a day for the break with only a minute, nor do I expect this to be a small finish. I think there's going to be a group for this one. Fairly certain of that. Pace, though, if others haven't been protected, I mean, you could be looking at Arrieta, Gonzalez, Garzon. You could be looking at a fair number of riders in the field being quite tired by this point. But I need to run this a little differently than what we normally do. I need to have my guy at the back protected by like Krantz and maybe Tregai and Huggins. Those guys are looking pretty strong and good descending for today. What about Krantz? Krantz not great. Let's put Krantz at the back like we did last stage, and then we'll probably get the other 4 to take turns on this one and go just a short while and see if they, can go again. Almost had a repeat of the last stage, but we get out there. Already inside 6K to go on this climb, so point here is I don't want to go all the way down to nothing. I'm going to rotate these guys, these first 4. Garzon, what's wrong with you? Okay, you're going to get in line behind Azumi then. 93 for him, especially with how punchy he is. So we immediately split off a few riders. Okay, Azumi could not hang on, so go ahead and drop to the back end. Gonzalez is going to struggle. Arrieta, keep pushing. Not what the plan was initially, but this is going to be okay, I think. Alright, Arrieta's done. On to Gonzalez. Sosa coming forward. Sosa is 17th. He's not a threat. He is not a threat. We're down to 53 in the field, so we have done pretty well decimating the field. Okay, Gonzalez is done. Garzon, did he ever really make it into the picture? Not really. We're down to 3 guys and 2K to go on the climb. And we've nearly reeled in the breakaway. Let's try to get you behind this. Let those 2 go solo. And you're looking at these 4 all going auto. And we see the field split. Krantz missing out a little bit. That's okay. We are a front 3. Somebody's bridged the gap. But it's down to 11. And Krantz is at the back end of this. And now it's at 28. And we've got Huggins and Tregai to lead out Martinez. And Krantz is here. For the moment, it's 13. And we've caught the front 2, so the breakaway will not win the stage today. Huggins is out of energy, though. So Tregai is going to have to take over. Let's gel up for him. Let Huggins handle this descent portion. Nobody's gaining on us at the moment anyway. Huggins continuing to push. A couple guys latched on as we go into this lower descent area. Alright, Tregai, take over. Huggins, go break that toe. 6K. There is a little uphill section here. Let's see if we can do something. Inside 3K, Tregai is sprinting. Inside 2K, Martinez, let's go. Pressure on. Krantz going for it. Buitrago with his plus 10 billion is going to go win another stage. And then our top 3 fades right at the end. Michael Matthews takes second. Buitrago gains 10 seconds again. Told you we'd be together as a group. There wouldn't be time gains, but Buitrago defies the odds with his daily +5. But Moss doesn't have his daily +5 anymore, but he was still in the main group, 14th for him. Big stage 20 ahead of us. It's a big stage. 160K to go. A lot of climbing, and it gets more and more intense as you go along towards the final climb. We start with a descent though, and a break that is trying to form. For now, there are 5 riders just 20 seconds away, and others still interested, still trying to get in it. And of course, I want to make sure that the field is interested in keeping it in check, as I don't want it to go do anything crazy and win by 40-50 minutes and us be the ones in charge of trying to pull it back. So let's hope that other teams are going to pick up the mantle of chasing. Furthest back is mid Peloton. We're okay in that department. We do want to protect our leader, Cavagna, with the withdrawal. Unfortunate there. Quite a few riders out the back already. I'm okay with us kind of getting through this first climb, but at the moment nobody is chasing. I mean, this is going out really fast. This is not what we want. We're looking at a really hefty group, and yeah, no chase. Garzone, you're going to take up the chase. 72. Yeah, if we don't control this, it's going to get out of control. And Vier, 10th at 11:27. We're going to put him on the chase instead of Garzone. Garzone, go ahead and sit up. Let Azumi do it. And Arietta makes it up here as well. Oh boy, he's not looking good today. -2. And let's go ahead and protect our leaders. Just one rider forward. Fortunately, others are contributing as well. We're looking at a 2.5 minute gap, and quite a few riders off the front, including the 10th place rider. But again, you know, at 11:27 down overall, it's not bad. That's 4 chasing 14, so that'll be 18 riders, and then 2 more, that's 20, and then a group of 4. So we've got 24 in the break. Sizable group, but at just over 2 minutes, and with a quick step in particular keeping them in control, we're fine. Just one rider involved in the chase for me is fine. +3 for Martinez, could be better, but certainly could be worse. Krantz with a +1, Gonzalez with a +2. A couple +5s in support means he's got help. He's got some help today. 107K to go. 107K. Let's go ahead and send somebody to get water. Let's go with... And that's just how fast everything's going right now. Those front 2 groups haven't come together, and that's good for us. Vieira is actually in the second group that's coming back towards the Peloton right now. Movie Star chasing pretty hard. They are nearly back in the Peloton. That's really good news, as he was the only threat up there, and they've been caught. So we're now looking at a 2 minute gap to 14 riders. Izumi is still up there working. One of the harder climbs of the day right here is nearly done. Izumi is fading, and it looks like he's gonna get dropped, maybe. This group is still in contact. Keeping him on the assignment at least gives the illusion that we are working at the front. I'll leave him on that, put him on his gel. He'll get dropped soon though. 109 chasing 14, 2.5 minutes. It's back to quick step at the front. Next climb is not bad, or the one uncategorized after that last double climb though. That's going to be pretty intense. It looks like we'll only be short 1 rider at that point. Arietta, though, I don't know. Arietta's not looking good. And like I said, we need to get water one more time. We will do that either over the top of this one or over the top of the uncategorized. let's take these guys and push the effort up a little bit higher as some of them are drifting back. Go 77. Nearly to the top here. Down to 88. Down to 81. Izumi does get dropped, but Movie Star has taken over at the front, so we're okay on that chase.
There's a breakaway in the leading group. We've got just 1/3 of the race
Got
left to
anybody
run.
missing? Campenarts, Alaphilippe are missing. Semetier, he's missing. So Movie Star down a rider. Of course, we are down a rider as well. And that front group still leads. They're getting weaker. Arrieta's getting weaker, but Garzon's hanging in there. Arrieta's not going to get dropped anytime soon, but he may not make it to the top here. We'll see. Alright, Arrieta did make it over the top, so he held on. He is recovering right now as best he can, which is not great today. 73 stamina for him. 75 mountain for him today. Ooh, the field just split. No leaders in that, but it did split the field. We're down to 30. This could very much be a solo final climb today. Back up to 47. Okay, commit a little bit more. We'll go 79. So 45 chasing 10. 220 the advantage. Now 42 chasing. Okay, Arrieta needs to gel. And Garzon probably needs to gel as well. 6K to go on this climb, already down to 32 chasers. Okay, gel for Garzon. We are fading a little bit here. Oh, we're fading too much, damn it. Because there's a crash in front of us. Is there? Or has he just been dropped? Buitrago's been dropped. This is good. We don't need to do this chase. This is okay. This is okay. That is the number 2 rider. This one, not okay. Your guy needs to bridge that gap. Arrieta gets dropped. Let Hoggins and Gonzalez hang back there. Krantz is on the verge of getting dropped here too. We don't want that. That's breakaway coming back at us. Garzon is still protecting. And he's hanging on really well. Okay, Trick Eye closing that gap. Arrieta. Keep up, guys. Keep up. You're attacking hard. Okay, Trick Eye, sit up. Those guys are gonna catch up to you soon enough. Gonzalez is the one who just opened that gap. That's not a gap I want opened. Look how much effort these guys are having to put in to bridge the gap. But problem here is that it is divided. It's not one rider closing it down. It's a bunch of guys. Garzon got dropped. For now, Krantz go ahead and protect Martinez. Let's let these guys ride forward to set them up for the final climb anyway. So Trick Guy, where are you at compared to these guys? Trick Guy, get in the line. Just 36 riders here, and those guys are under some pressure, so let's think about getting forward and keeping that pressure on. Dropped in all that. 38 left. Gonzalez, keep going. Coming up on the top here anyway.
Coast goes onto the attack.
Kos is top 10, but he is 9th at 10:25 down, so I'm not worried about him. This is more about everybody else. There is Moss marking Martinez. Do we need water again? Or are we okay? We're okay. We're okay on water. 19K to go.
as the riders must choose
This
their
is stage
trajectory
20, so next up is that time trial. 10K is all it is. Splitting the field right now. Okay, now we cannot climb at that pace, so we've got to ease off a little bit here with Gonzalez. We need to sustain this for a little while, but making it hard, and having split the field there a little bit. Who's in the group behind? Lopez, Berwick. Key guys are here, but isolated. There's only 22 here. I've got 5 of them, so there's only 17. A lot of isolated guys, but Movistar do have a couple. There's Verona, Kobo, Sosa, Moss. There's Buitrago. But again, a lot of those guys already had to go deep. The front of the field is a minute and a half up the road. There's Carthy, left over from the break, Monake, and then 4 riders up ahead of that. Trigai, Gel. He's going to be taking over here fairly soon. Gonzalez got us from the last climb to the base of this one, and then a little ways up. Triguy's going to take over. 18 left. We already dropped down to 13 now. Dang. Good job, Gonzalez.
That the strongest can create some gaps.
Okay. Time to run a switcheroo. Hoggins is going to fade here soon. Down to 12. Hoggins is going to drop to last position. Krantz covers the gap. Hoggins is going to help create an issue for others momentarily. And we're down to 10. And there's going to be a split there with Hoggins. And we're down to 8 at the front. Make that 7. Carapaz from the break getting dropped. We're down to Foss, Buitrago, Rubio. There's Moss fading. Is he? No. And we're catching the breakaway. That's the front of the field. Trigai is out of energy though, so we're down to our 2 guys. So Moss is going to take over. He's trying to attack. That is an attempted attack, so let's respond. Krantz, follow the attack. Yeah, I said follow the mother effing attack. Stupid game. He's still not following it. Screw this game and its whole we're not going to follow the rules. Buitrago's gone though. There's Buitrago. There's Foss, 2nd and 4th place. Monake is getting dropped. So Carthy from the break is with us. Rubio, I think might have been in the break, is with us. Krantz and Martinez though, and Krantz is going to be out of energy here, and so that means it's going to be up to Martinez to close that gap on Moss, and he does not have much left in the tank. Moss does clearly have the race day condition today. Martinez, Gel. Our race on the line. Moss again looking really strong today.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
4K. Gel kicks in. Moss is pulling away. Martinez is just going what pace we can manage, which is enough to pull away from others, but not enough to keep Moss in check. $1K to go, out of energy, just full gas. A minute 19 down on Moss. Moss is going to have the advantage heading into the final stage. Martinez is going to be 2nd. Rubio, Krantz, Carthy, Buitrago, Foss. Krantz could move back up the order. We could be looking at a double podium and not a win, potentially. But with a 10K time trial to go, Moss is not supposed to be having the race day condition anymore, because he clearly, stage 1, had the race day condition, had the fitness peak. It's over because Krantz started his fitness peak on like stage 3, and it's gone already. So that means Moss had to have ended his fitness peak 3-4 days ago, and we've seen one bad race day condition day. We've seen one neutral race day condition day since then. Today was another +4, +5. So Moss lucks out with really good condition, and we crushed the field. Martinez was way ahead of Rubio, ahead of Krantz, ahead of Carthy, but one guy had that little bit more, which means at the very least he had a +3, +4 race day condition. In the end, minute 58 behind Moss. Wow. Rubio was 3:03 down. Krantz was 3:19. Buitrago was 4:02. That's going to push him so far down that he is definitely not a contender. But Moss is going to have the race lead. How much? We'll find out in a moment. Chergai was 12th on the stage. The stage was so difficult that 4 riders were out of time, plus Cavagna going down. That's rough to get all the way to the end and then miss the time cut. And, we're looking at huge gaps through the field. So here we go. Moment of truth. How bad is it? 47 seconds down on Moss. Now, Moss, well, he's a better time trialist than Martinez is. So even with race day condition bonus, even if Moss doesn't have a condition bonus, I think he's going to have enough to hang on. As we saw earlier, he put in such a good time trial. He had the +5. I don't think he's going to get a +5 or anything tomorrow. But with the extreme difficulty bonus, even a neutral 0, we're probably not going to gain enough. If Martinez has a +5, it's our only chance, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we're probably looking at second. Somehow Krantz is still 5th. Still? After finishing 4th on that stage? Not beating Buitrago's not a big surprise, but Foss? Wow. Huge gap behind, though. So 2nd and 5th, and 14th. Martinez, not quite there yet. Not quite there. Man, oh man, are we close with him, though. If we can get another mountain point, if we can get a couple more stamina points, and especially if he can develop that time trial a little bit, his next level or 2 could turn him into a tour winner. Grand Tour winner. Not necessarily the tour. La Vuelta. Moss has had some unbelievable race day conditions. He's had one bad day. One bad day. That's it. Guy's had +5s day after day after day after day. And we saw that one day where he looked pretty neutral. And the one day where he was weak. That was it. Tough to beat that. And we haven't been at our best. We've had a lot of days where we had poor draws. A lot of them. In the early stage where we didn't have fitness peaks, where we didn't have objectives, we really only had a couple of good draw days. And then, compared to the expected, I think maybe 4 stages have been relative to expected. A couple stages have been a little below. A lot of stages have been well below. It's been hard without it. That was the thing about the Giro and Krantz's win was we had a lot of good days. We had a lot of expected days. We built up for it really well and got what was expected and then got the result. Here, Krantz, he was expected +3s from stage 3 all the way to stage 18. And he had some of them. And he had some +5s. He had some good days. But overall, he had a negative draw compared to expected. Especially down the stretch. A lot of minuses or a 0. Again and again when expected was +3. So his net was definitely a negative. Martinez, I think, got about his expected net. I do think he was pretty spot on for that. But not quite, he was about a 0. He was definitely a negative on the average, maybe a -1 average. Gonzalez also had a negative on his average. So, your 2 main support guys being below what they need to be makes it a little bit harder on a Martinez. But for Martinez, he might have the mountain. He doesn't quite have the stamina, and he definitely doesn't have the time trialing. He lost more time on the time trialing. Climbing wise, he didn't lose hardly at all. This last stage he lost, yes, but he was second on the stage. He was over a minute ahead of everybody else. He was a minute and a half, and these were a couple of breakaway guys who got caught right at the end and passed. Outside of two breakaway guys, we had, if you exclude Moss and his impossible +5s when he shouldn't be having them, you pull him out of that. You pull out the two breakaway guys. Buitrago was the next closest, over 2 minutes behind Martinez. Krantz was a minute behind. Foss was 2.5 behind. We blew the field away, even on extreme difficulty, except one guy. And if the game didn't screw me on I saw what he was doing. Krantz still had energy. Martinez was still there. I clicked follow. He didn't follow. I clicked chase. He wasn't chasing. We used 2 of those capable, possible, should be buttons. Neither one did a damn thing. So then we had to burn Krantz's energy the hard way. And then burn Martinez's energy the hard way. How much better would we have been if either one of those button clicks? Would Moss have gotten away still? He had a lot of energy. The guy clearly had a +5. That's the only explanation. These guys did not have it. Anyway, there is one stage left in this race. There is Il Lombardia left on the season. That's pretty close to it for our calendar. So we're going to be wrapping this season up in the next episode, including wrapping up La Vuelta and what looks to be pretty clearly second place. We're 3 minutes ahead of Buitrago. He's not going to catch us. He's a 71.71. Foss is a 75.77. It's going to be much more prologue at 10K than time trial. Mostly. 5K is full prologue rating. 25K is full time trial. In between is splits. We're only 5K of a 20K. So it's, 75% prologue rating, 25% time trial rating. Martinez has a 68 prologue. So base, we're looking at about a 70, 69, 70. So even with a +3, +4 on the expected, he might get a 74, 75 rating. It's not going to be very good. Moss, he's looking at a 72 and a half. 72 and a half rating. So he's already starting well ahead. And then he's not expected to have a good race day condition, but he's had, 2 out of the last 4 days. He had good race day conditions anyway. The other 2 days he did poor. It's not over, but it's damn close to over. Because I think at best Martinez is getting maybe a 74. Moss is expected to have a 72. How much ground are we going to gain over 10K? Expecting not much. But with 3 minutes behind us, we're definitely not going backwards. Krantz isn't going anywhere either. 5th. Top 5 looks pretty well set. Vanderbilt with 2 seconds over Rubio and 5 over Godu. There's a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. 1 to go on the season. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Look out for the new series coming Monday. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.